Hey guys, welcome to ImmaculateTV. Today we're going to be taking one of the default templates and adding scoring to it. So we're going to create a new game, Advanced Features. And so we're going to do Open World with PvP. Just the grid, so if you want a prettier map, you can pick a different one. So the first thing you need to know is that the score of a player is controlled right here. So if you go Menu Settings, whatever attribute you put here, that'll be what will be displayed in the scoreboard. So it's called kills right now, and we're going to use that to keep track of how many other players you have defeated. So let's just take a quick look at what the out-of-the-box template comes with. And it's not much. There's just a guy that can move around, and he has a few default objects that can do some damage. So he can move around, he's got a gun and a fist. But if you notice, if you go ahead and deal damage to another player, once they're destroyed, the other player doesn't get any points. So what I'm going to do is go back here, and we're going to add all the necessary stuff to keep track of points. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a player variable, and this variable is going to keep track of which player was the last player to hurt this player. So last damaging player. You can also, I've seen some people use last damaging unit instead, but I personally find it easier to use a player instead. So last damaging player. So what we next need to modify is whenever a projectile hits the unit. So we've got this code here that talks about what happens when a projectile is hitting a unit. So we're going to lower the health and then do some other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're also going to set entity attribute. No, variable. Set entity. So what we're going to do is we're going to set entity variable. We're going to set the last damaging player of the triggering unit, which references the unit that was hit with the projectile, as the owner of the source unit of the triggering projectile. So now we've got this set up where they're hit with the projectile, we'll set this here and then lower their health. So the last thing we need to do is when they are actually destroyed, so when their health becomes less than 0 or 0, here we set the respawn timer as 0 and then destroy them. The next thing we need to do is go to the script where the unit is being destroyed. So before we do that, we want to reward the player who was last damaging it. So we want to set player attribute kills of which player, which is the entity variable referring to last damaging player of triggering unit, as the kills of the last damaging player of triggering unit plus 1. So we want to give them 1 more point whenever they get a kill. So let's publish this and rejoin and take a look how it is. So one trick you can do is if you need multiple sessions, you can create an incognito window, and when you join, you'll get a different user. And so now testing this out, if my new user that I created finishes me off, you'll see now that that went up to 1. So now we can see that the kills are going up. So what the steps to do, to recap quickly, are step 1, you go into your unit and add this variable last damaging player. Then wherever you deal damage to them, and remember, if you deal damage in multiple places, you need to put it in each of those places. We want to say, whenever a projectile hits a unit, we want to set the last damaging player. And you want to do this before you lower the health. The reason is that if you lower the health first, your ability will trigger before you set the correct last damaging players. And so the last thing is, once you've got the correct variable, and now you set it on the hit, whenever the units are destroyed, same kind of thing. Before you destroy it, set the kills of the person who should get the reward. Thanks for watching ImmaculateTV. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for new topics, put those in the comments. Thanks.